the Ozark Mountains. An unforgiving landscape, especially in winter. The air was always frigid, biting at exposed skin. This year, an unsettling silence hung over the woods. The usual hunting season buzz was absent. Deer were scarce. Talk around the campfire was more hushed, filled with unease. Locals whispered of strange occurrences, unexplained noises in the night, a feeling of being watched. Something wasn't right in the Arkansas woods. The hunting lodge was usually full of laughter and tall tales. This season, it was different. Hunters sat huddled, faces creased with worry. The stories they shared weren't about trophy bucks, but about eerie encounters and a growing sense of dread. The woods held their breath, waiting. Then, the whispers turned into grim findings. Hunters began to discover deer carcasses. The kills were clean, almost surgical, but there was no blood, no tracks. The animals seemed drained, their eyes clouded with a strange fear. Fear clung to these discoveries. This wasn't the work of any predator they knew. Experienced hunters examined the kills, shaking their heads. Something was off. The wounds were too precise, too clean. It was as if something had drained the life force from the deer, leaving behind empty shells. The mystery deepened, casting a pall over the already subdued hunting season. Two hunters, Jake and Billy, went missing. They were experienced woodsmen, familiar with the land. Their disappearance sent a shockwave through the community. Search parties were assembled, combing every inch of the forest. Days turned into a week, and hope started to dwindle. The woods had swallowed them whole. The silence of the woods was now deafening. The search parties returned empty-handed, their faces etched with frustration and fear. The mood in the lodge was somber. Jake and Billy were good men, respected hunters. Their disappearance confirmed everyone's worst fears. There was something out there, something dangerous. A faint distress signal, barely audible. It led the searchers to a secluded cave hidden deep within a thicket of pines. The entrance was shrouded in shadow, as if the cave itself was holding its breath. The signal emanated from within, weak but persistent. A sense of foreboding settled over the search party. Inside the cave, the air was cold, heavy with the smell of damp earth and something else, something unfamiliar. The signal led deeper into the cave, the darkness pressing in. The rescuers moved cautiously, their flashlights cutting through the oppressive darkness. They called out for Jake and Billy, their voices echoing in the cavernous space. At the end of a narrow passage, they found them. Jake and Billy huddled together, their eyes wide with terror. They were alive, but barely. But it was what was with them that chilled everyone to the bone. A creature, tall, gaunt, draped in the skin of a black bear. Its head was bowed, obscuring its face. But the hunter's terror was palpable. The creature was still, unmoving, as if frozen in time. The hunters too were paralyzed, their eyes locked on the thing that shared the cave with them. The air was thick with tension, the silence broken only by the sound of ragged breathing. The rescuers hesitated, unsure of what they were dealing with. The creature seemed almost human in form, yet there was something inherently wrong about it, something unsettling. Then, the creature slowly raised its head. Its face was a grotesque mockery of a human's, pale and gaunt. Its eyes, however, were the most unsettling, intelligent, almost knowing. It locked eyes with the rescuers, and a low, guttural sound emanated from its throat. It was a sound that sent shivers down their spines, a sound they recognized with a primal fear. The sound of a buck calling out during mating season. The sound echoed through the cave, bouncing off the damp walls. It was a sound that didn't belong, a sound that spoke of something ancient and evil. The rescuers stumbled back, their flashlights shaking in their hands. The creature, as if sensing their fear, took a step forward. The hunter, still cowering in the corner, let out a whimper of terror. Panic seized the group. The rescuers scrambled back, desperate to escape the confines of the cave. The creature made no move to pursue them, but its eyes followed them, burning into their backs with an unnerving intensity. The hunters, still in shock, had to be dragged from the cave, their screams echoing behind them. The creature remained in the cave, a silent sentinel in the darkness. It watched as the rescuers fled back into the woods, their fear a tangible presence in the air. It let out another chilling call, the sound echoing through the silent woods. It was a sound that spoke of power, of dominance, the sound of a predator toying with its prey. Jake and Billy, traumatized but alive, couldn't or wouldn't speak of what they had encountered in the cave. The creature was never found, but the encounter left an indelible mark on the community. The woods, once a source of livelihood and recreation, were now viewed with suspicion and fear. The hunting season ended abruptly. The lodge, once filled with laughter, stood empty. The woods held their breath, secrets kept safe beneath a blanket of snow. The creature, whatever it was, had vanished. But the fear it instilled lingered, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of their world. Some dismissed the encounter as a figment of the hunter's imaginations, fueled by stress and isolation. Others, however, couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. The eerie stillness of the woods, the unnatural deer carcasses, the hunter's terror, it all pointed to something sinister, something beyond human comprehension. The creature became a local legend, whispered about in hushed tones around campfires. The story served as a chilling reminder that there are still mysteries in this world, dark corners where the unknown lurks. And sometimes those corners bleed into our own reality, leaving us to face the terrifying truth that we are not alone, and that some things are best left undisturbed.